Hello, everybody. Welcome to this KE and Coffee webinar. This one we've entitled New Year, New KE. Don't worry, it is not New Year, New Me. We won't be asking you to do any fitness goals or anything like that. This is purely a space to chat about all things KEUK and knowledge exchange geekery as such. If you're new to Knowledge Exchange UK, welcome. If you are one of our regular members or been with us for a while since the Praxis days, then welcome back. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Head of Professional Development, Luke Norman. I'm relatively brand new to the team. I've been here for just over 2 months now. And today I'm joined by Stuart Wilkinson, the CEO of Knowledge Exchange UK.
Hello. Thank you, Luke. Looking forward to having a bit of a chat about what we're looking forward to in 2026, but also I think a bit of a look back over the first year of us being branded Knowledge Exchange UK.
Absolutely. So a little bit of light housekeeping just before we start. So just to let you all know that this webinar is being recorded, so please bear that in mind. If you want to ask any technical questions regarding the actual webinar, we would recommend you put it in the chat, and our colleague Owen, who is on the call, will look after that. So if you're having any issues hearing us or anything like that, please put it in the chat. However, if you have any questions for myself or Stuart along the way, we're asking you to put those into the Q&A section. So Owen just put a message there. So if you've got any general questions for us throughout, please put them in there. We've got some time at the end for questions, and we've got a range of topics to go through. So we're going to start in a second with an introduction to Knowledge Exchange UK. That's always a good place to start, especially into 2026 and this brand new year. But we'll also be reflecting on the wins of 2025 and some of the highlights of last year. We'll be looking forward to what's coming in 2026 as well. We've got a little bit about developing your own KE career and the different pathways that may take. And then, as I mentioned at the end, we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, again, stick them in the Q&A as we go through. So with that, I'm going to ask Stuart if he would like to give us a brief history about Knowledge Exchange UK and a bit about the Knowledge Exchange sector that we represent. So take it away, Stuart.
Sure. And I'm aware that this will have quite a mixed audience, so there'll be some members of the audience that are very familiar with Knowledge Exchange UK and its predecessors, and others that maybe this is new to. So Knowledge Exchange UK is an organisation that has been around for over 20 years. Last year, as I mentioned, we changed name from Praxis Oral, so the association with Praxis has been a long one. That was the original incarnation of Knowledge Exchange UK. But last year, and slightly over a year ago, we decided to change name to Knowledge Exchange UK, really to represent the increasing significance of the impact that can be had from research and from collaborations and from education activities in universities. About 5 or more years ago, the language of knowledge exchange to embrace impact from a variety of different academic disciplines through a variety of different routes was sort of coined, and so it seemed appropriate to change our name to Knowledge Exchange UK to represent that. We're a membership organisation. The membership consists of education research organisations, so universities, but also public sector research organisations and other research related activities. But it's not just that, it's also beneficiaries and the supporters of research. So we have some R&D companies as members, and we have funders and charitable organisations, all of whom interested in making the world a better place through the application of research and knowledge in a variety of settings. So that's who we are. Alongside that membership, where we seek to build community and build networks, we also do training, which we'll talk about later, and as well as sort of sharing best practice and developments and representing the exciting things that can happen through knowledge exchange in the UK.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Stuart. So yeah, to you who are new to Knowledge Exchange UK, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of who we are. If you're relatively existing with us, then gives you a nice little bit of a refresher. But where I wanted to start was really reflecting on 2025, a lot of the highlights and wins of last year. Certainly, joining only 2 months ago, I was basically a member last year. I got to see a lot of what Knowledge Exchange UK was doing through being a member, but then it's nice transitioning from November onwards to actually understanding from a executive team member about what's actually going on as well. And one of the things I think was a big win of last year was our first KUK branded conference. You know, we'd had Praxis Oral and all the other iterations of the name before that. But last year was our first KUK conference specifically. So it was held in June in Birmingham. And what were your thoughts on it in particular, Stuart?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think you've got some pictures as well you can share.
I have.
So yeah, no, so we were in Birmingham, first time under the banner Knowledge Exchange UK, and we were really thinking about delivering mission-driven impact. So we're able to bring together speakers from like Nancy Rothwell, who you can see there on the screen, who was involved in the development of the industrial strategy. Last June, that was very much under wraps, but obviously now in 2026, we know what the industrial strategy looks like in detail, and we can see how UKRI and other funding bodies are sort of organising themselves to help deliver the industrial strategy, but also the government missions as well. So that was a bit of a highlight. It's always a highlight getting a whole load of people together who care about knowledge exchange in one place. And it was a great venue in Birmingham at the cricket ground, and a great chance to for colleagues to meet up and sort of connect. So that was a real highlight on a variety of ways. And actually, I guess we'll talk later about what we're doing this year as a conference. I guess alongside that, we also had the KE Awards, another sort of highlight of the year, very public highlight of the year, where we bring together the shortlisted applicants for a series of KE Awards and announce the winners. Yeah, pictures of us there in Manchester at the Lowry Museum. And again, just an amazing evening. It always seems such a shame that we can't get more people in the room, because sitting there hearing uh, we do 1 minute elevator videos, and just sitting there listening to video after video after video, hearing about different types of institutions having different types of impact in different ways is just a really exciting, inspiring evening. And yes, we have a few winners, but actually all of them are really winners in terms of the impact that they've been able to make through commercialization, through social impact, through place-based activities. But we also celebrate the people too, which is very important in this space, that you can't do knowledge exchange without people. So celebrating how teams have advanced the culture in their institutions, or have collaborated with other institutions, or have really sort of pulled together as their own sort of team in the institution, was a real sort of highlight in the run up to Christmas. Now, those are the kind of public highlights, the ones that kind of get most visibility. But I think alongside that, there were a lot of individual interactions. I always love scanning LinkedIn after we've done some courses and hearing people who are new to the sector talk about how they've been in a sort of closed environment for a couple of days, having the chance to ask any question, and then working out how that's going to change their day-to-day existence back in the office. And through the year, there's been a couple of wonderful sort of comments of people going, actually, this has completely changed how I'm going to go about things, or has completely validated my approach. That actually this is what other people are doing too, and that makes lots of sense. So the little things of those are real highlights for me. But then I think also more broadly, the development of knowledge exchange and the significance. So from individuals making a difference to actually government funders, other organizations realizing the possibilities that can be had from applying knowledge to make a difference in a variety of ways. And so when I started in this sort of field, it was a nice to have. It now very much feels like that this is a key and necessary national purpose to make sure that we innovate and that we apply the best of the knowledge generated in the UK to the UK and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely echo those thoughts. I mean, for me, the KE Awards, I think that was about 2 or 3 weeks into me joining the company. So it was a real like, here is a load of people from across the country doing amazing KE stuff. And like, it was the perfect welcome for me. It was just such a great way of meeting all these different people, all these amazing projects. Getting to meet some of the teams. I'd come from the University of Nottingham. University of Nottingham won the place-based initiative through the Hydex, which was great to see. There was the public vote winner. I think many people remember the science behind a happy horse was just
Oh, yeah.
great to see. But there were just so many, even just all of the nominees were just great to meet, great to chat with, great to network. And yeah, cannot speak more highly of that event at all. But as you say,
Um,
Stuart, on a kind of more personal level.
I don't think it was
Oh,
on the
yeah,
plan, so I'm going to be annoying. But just to flag up the KE Awards this coming year, so we're already starting to think about that, and we're already
yeah,
starting to think about how we can continue to improve that process. And actually, what we're hoping to do is to flag up those categories even earlier this year. So look out around Easter or just after Easter, where we'll be starting the wheels in motion for the KE Awards, highlighting them at conference, and then doing the assessment of the applications and the sort of session in the autumn next year as well. But more details to follow.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so, they are kind of two of the bigger events of last year, but I really wanted to highlight something that for me was a really good example of engaging with the KE community on a more personal level, as you mentioned, Stuart. And this, I'm going to bring an image of the event up here. So this was an event, AI and tech transfer, what's happening now and what it means for us. This happened in December last year, and why I wanted to specifically bring this event up was this was one of our members dropping a message on KE Connect, which is our online community, and saying, I would like to have a chat with the community about AI. I'm a bit skeptical about it. I don't, understand it in some ways. How can it be used for KE? Is it going to replace people's jobs? There's a lot of these conversations going around in the kind of tech transfer and KE space. And, this particular member voiced their opinions and said, I'd like to discuss with people who use AI in their everyday means. And basically the conversation started flowing, which was really, really good. And we decided to have a chat with them and set up this great event about AI and tech transfer. And so we had speakers who were using AI in their everyday roles, who were making it easy to, run a TCO, for example. We had people who understood things about, licensing AI and what that might mean. There were so many different speakers with so many different expertise that it was just such a great example of, KUK being member led, and actually, you as members getting to define what we do, and that for me means absolutely everything. It was a really, really great event last year, so I really wanted to highlight that one as well.
That's great to hear because I mean I think we made the transition from the old platform into KE Connect as Knowledge Exchange UK, really wanting to make it easy for members to engage. I guess for those that are not aware, because we have institutional membership, anybody within that institution can access KE Connect and can make the most of that membership. I often worry that we just have relatively few people, but some of the topics up there have wide applicability across institutions. And so actually, yeah, try seeing that coming to the fore, seeing members starting conversations and being able to facilitate those discussions and actually the active conversation about what do we do next is really at the heart of what we want Knowledge Exchange UK to be. People know about our volunteers that help judge the awards and help deliver the training, but actually people trying to solve problems in their day job and asking a friend, asking a peer group on KE Connect is a really valuable asset that we really hope will come into the fore more through 2026.
Definitely. And to give an example, this whole idea about AI and tech transfer, it becoming such an emerging topic is starting to shape what we're planning for 2026. And we'll have a little bit more on that later as well. So, we always welcome your ideas. So if anyone has any ideas, make sure get them up on K Connect, contact us as much as you want, and let's keep the conversation going, basically, is what we want to say. Um, the other thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to pass over to Stuart in a second for this one, is we've had some changes to the executive team last year as well. Me being one of them, so I'm the brand new head of professional development, which has been really, really great to join the company, learn about what we do at a more executive level rather than understanding it from a member level, which is great. But we've also had some other new additions as well, Stuart.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I guess if I just sort of map the team onto what we do, so we have a variety of different roles in the team. So we have the sort of training and event support team. Obviously, you head up the sort of professional development side, but we have a number of faces that will be familiar who support our events and activities. Dave supporting our in-house training. I guess we might talk about that later. But also some of the member events like conference. I mean, you've got a picture. I hate seeing pictures of myself, so this is a challenge. But the team all come together at the conference to support that. But for the KE Awards or for particular face-to-face events, you might see some of them coming from either the sort of marketing support, which is Owen, who you might have seen at the beginning of this session. So yeah, and then of course James, who looks after who sort of really helped support the digital transition and looks after a lot of the operational matters in the team, and of course Tamsin, who'll be known to many of our community, who has a long track record in knowledge exchange and the sort of funding and stakeholder side of things that we sort of rely on too. So yeah, it's more than just one person; it's a team of people. But actually, beyond that team, there are our volunteers too. So we're acutely aware that the board, who are all sort of volunteer non-executive directors, the training presenters and the course directors all give their time to give back to this community to try and ensure that we can support and progress knowledge exchange further. So yeah, some of the faces, but actually other faces not there who are equally important too.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, with that, that's a lot of the reflections on 2025. But we're here, New Year, New K, to have a look at what's coming up in 2026. And as we mentioned earlier, I think probably one of the biggest things for 2026 is our second KEUK conference. So this conference 2026 is going to be at the ICC in Wales, in Newport. So that's really, really exciting that we're going to go into Wales. They couldn't have picked a better venue here with a giant Welsh dragon. You certainly won't miss it on your drive past on the way to the convention centre. It's on the 8th to the 10th of June 2026, and it's got the overall title of Knowledge Exchange for the Future, which I think is really, really a good title to get us going for progressing more. We've got a few different themes in terms of the conference schedule as well. So we've got future industries in missions, tech-driven innovation and commercialization, partnerships for resilience, regional growth and community empowerment, and then building K capacity and impact. So very soon we'll be sharing a lot of the abstracts and schedule information for those themes. So you'll be able to pick and choose which pathways you want to go on for different sessions, which is really, really good. And we've still got our early bird ticket available. So the early bird is until the 15th of February. So if you want to get some slightly discounted tickets there, I would highly recommend going on our website and taking advantage of those early bird tickets as well. So yeah, very, very excited to be going to Wales in June.
Yeah, no, and one of the great things, it's in the backyard of the Intellectual Property Office as well.
Yeah.
So we're working very closely with UK intellectual properties to think about how we can make the most of that sort of adjacency, proximity to their HQ. I think conference is always a great place to either meet up with old colleagues or to make new ones or both. We've framed it in that way just to help people to navigate around. As I said at the start, we're acutely aware that knowledge exchange is a very broad space. So hopefully those pathways help people to find their way into areas of interest. Or if you're in a very small institution, all of those topics might be of interest. And so to be able to pick across those different pathways and to connect those things. As you say, we are currently working through the abstracts at the moment. We always want to try and include as much as possible. But part of that might be trying to see where the synergies are between different suggested sessions. So we're working through that at the moment in terms of trying to sort of find those synergies, play it into that framework, and then sort of work through in terms of various panels. So more details will follow about who the keynotes are, what the panels are, that will put a little bit more flesh on the bones. Suffice to say, I think we're at a really interesting time in knowledge exchange with that government focus on those industries and missions and how knowledge exchange can enable that. That you can see how all of those different pathways and all of the activities that we see, coming through from our members are really, really critical to that sort of agenda. So hopefully it'll be a good mix of connecting with peers old and new, hearing the latest, but also being inspired about how you can do things differently or take on activities in your own institution.
Yeah. No, I should add as well. So we've just launched. You can find this on our LinkedIn page or on our website. We've just launched a Conference 2026 bursary scheme as well. So it's accessible to people from a wide range of backgrounds and career stages, and we're offering up to 5 bursaries to attend the conference as well. So if you are interested in that, have a look on our website. There's a few terms and conditions to have a read of, but it's nice to be able to offer that as well. And for me, my first conference was in 2023, back when we were Praxis Oral. I knew no one there. I walked through the door. I was on my own. phone, and immediately I saw Ian Tracy from Anchored In, and we just got talking as if we were old friends, and started talking about all things KE. So if you are a bit nervous about going to your first conference on your own, I can absolutely recommend just go. They are such a friendly community, the KE community. So absolutely get involved as much as you can. Um, Two other events that we wanted to bring up that are kind of separate to our courses, more external events. This one we're particularly excited about. This is coming up in early February. This is the Licensing Technology from Universities, which is run in collaboration with the Licensing Executive Society. Really excited for this one. This will be held on the 5th of February at Queen Mary University, and we've got a range of different speakers present for that one, which is really, really exciting. The whole idea behind this event is all about understanding how to successfully engage and license technology from universities. So we're going to have Phil Clare, the CEO of Queen Mary Innovation there, obviously one of our hosts, which is great. We're going to have people from GSK there, people from Google DeepMind, which is absolutely amazing. Lots of different perspectives there. So again, if you'd like to sign up, we've got an early bird offer until the 16th of January, so a bit shorter on time there. So absolutely make sure to get your tickets for that one. I think that's going to be a really, really good event in Queen Mary in February.
Yeah, and just to underline, I mean, I think at conference last year, I talked about how we were keen to collaborate and partner. So this came about because one of our course directors, Paul McLennan from Anderson Law, saw the opportunity to sort of reach out to a slightly different audience. We obviously do practical licensing, which is thinking about how to license technology out of universities. So he's thinking about how we could partner with the Licensing Executive Society to think about the other side of that equation of how to license technology from universities into other organizations. So yeah, the early bird is there. If any of the people listening think of people that would be applicable to in partner organizations, it'd be also good to flag those to those partner organizations as well. And we hope that will be the start of something where we can support both sides of that transfer process. So yeah.
Perfect. The other one that I'll bring up is our Spin Out Symposium, which is run in collaboration with Barclays and Conception X. This is on the 25th of February. I believe this is fully booked, isn't it, Stuart?
I think it is. So yeah, we're very close to having the numbers. So yeah, we're just making judgment calls about what percentage of dropouts might exist, and therefore how we can sort of overbook as you would if you're on a budget airline. So yeah, no, very exciting. Barclays approached us wanting to sort of pull together the community, and I think it'll provide a great opportunity for the community of TTO professionals in particular to think about what's next. There's obviously been a lot of focus on spin outs over the last few years, and a lot of kind of requests for information and policies. I think this is a chance to catch our breath and think about actually what do we want to do next as a community? Where are the next sort of steps? So we've got a presentation on creating an entrepreneurship culture from Michelle Barber, previously at Bristol. We've got a couple of panels on the sort of the building the engine that does spin outs, but then also what happens afterwards. And I think we're also going to be joined by Tony Hickson, who's going to give us a little insight into the University Investor Relations report, which is coming out soon, to give people a bit of a sort of look at that. So I'm really looking forward to that session, and again thinking about what that might lead to afterwards and how that might support our members to think how they can do more or do things in the spin out space.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, lots of nice people speaking. Again, you can find details on our website under the events tab. So, if you want to find out more, you can. And hopefully, we'll see you there for the Spin Out Symposium. Obviously, we're a training organisation as well. So, we've got our 2026 run of courses as well. So, again, I'm not going to go through all the dates here. But one thing I wanted to bring up in particular was that we've just launched a careers and professional development newsletter as well. So we have our regular newsletter, which kind of gives a bit of insight to general things we're doing. But one thing we wanted to do, especially with me coming in as the new head of professional development, was launch a new careers newsletter specifically. So with this newsletter, have a look in your inboxes. I think we've had a couple of iterations now. We've got blog posts from people in the field. So the first one, I talked a bit about my expertise and my experiences in KE. We've got a few different blogs lined up. However, if you want to get involved involved with writing a blog and sharing your expertise in the KE space, do let us know, and we'd be really glad to hear about that. Do let me know. And as part of this newsletter, we're starting to highlight the different courses and the different career routes that you could take based on this idea. So, we have our list of courses on the website, and what Stuart and I started to look at was where these mapped onto the different levels of people attending them. And so we could identify that some were more early career, some were more mid-level, and some were more director level. And so I wanted to spend a couple of minutes just to show you this diagram and say, if you are new to KE and are fairly early career, as I was a few years ago, we've got the new to KE extended program. So this is one where there's a few different sessions throughout the year, and you can learn all about KE in general, especially if you've maybe been thrust into it, or it's a brand new career change or something like that. We've also got fundamentals of tech transfer, which is getting you up to speed with everything tech transfer in KE, which is a really, really nice fundamentals course. Then we've got, I'm going to be very biased here, Essentials of Business Development. That was the first ever course I attended as a member, run by Sarah and Gurmit, our amazing course directors. Absolutely love this course, can't recommend it enough. It's a really good course in terms of how do you get those partnerships? How do you find people to collaborate with in order to generate impact and income? So I can highly recommend those if you're on the early career kind of stage in your KE career. And then we've got the more what I'm calling early to mid-level, your kind of applied courses. So these could be for early, they could be for mid-level. It could just be you're wanting to learn something new or develop your skills a little bit further. As Stuart mentioned earlier, we've got Paul McLennan, who runs the research contracts one, which is a great course. We've got developing strategic partnerships, software commercialization. We do a one-day negotiation masterclass as well. So if you want a kind of shorter course, we offer that as well. And then we've also got practical licensing and spin out creation as well. So again, if you're going on that spin out symposium and you think I want to learn a bit more about the spin out world, we've got that lovely spin out creation course for you as well. But then if you're a bit more senior in your career, you're in that mid to director level, we've got some offerings for you as well. So we've got our, I'm going to call it our brand new Leadership in KE course. And the reason I'm saying that is Leadership in KE used to be one of our extended courses. So it used to be run over 4 or 5 days throughout the year. And looking at feedback, what we decided to do was merge this into a 2-day course. So it's now part of our national course offering. So it's held centrally in the UK. People can get to meet together for 2 days, share best practice, still get all the course content that you were getting before. And we hope this is a really good way to aid with networking at that director level, is having you all in the same place for 2 days. So I'm really excited for that coming up in this half of the year. And then we also have our mentoring offerings as well. So we've got certificate in mentoring that's currently ongoing. We're training our next generation of mentors. But generally, if people want to get involved with mentoring, do let us know, as you can never have enough mentors in your mentor pool. So if people generally want to get involved, let us know and we can start conversations there.
I think that's a really good map of the portfolio of courses that we've got. I feel obliged at this point to go, we're always very receptive for people coming forward with ideas of needs that they have, of training needs. And we'd love to experiment some sort of more bite-sized courses in amongst that. I think the other thing to flag up is that over the last few years, we've noticed an increasing demand for in-house courses. So our national courses are where anybody can come along, they're open, and you really get the benefit of that material, but with a sort of broad set of perspectives from across the UK. The in-house is a slightly different thing. It's the same content, but usually delivered to a team in-house. So you get the benefit of the team being on the same page, but not the benefit of the kind of perspectives from across the UK. So alongside that portfolio offering, we have that in-house as well, to sort of service that set of needs and demands. Sorry, Luke, I sort of.
You're all good. That's really, really good to highlight. So I'm going to kind of finish there and say thank you to everyone for coming. If you do have any questions, chuck them in the Q&A, but currently there aren't any, so that's great. It means me and Stuart have done our job of getting all that information to you. If you want to find out about anything that we spoke about today, best place to always start is on our website at ke.org.uk. You can go via the various tabs, or feel free to contact us as well. And again, you can find that information on our website. So with that, We are bang on 12:30, which is absolutely perfect. We have no questions in the Q&A, which is great as well to see. So we will say thank you very much. Hopefully everyone has a really, really great and positive 2026 and has a great time in the KE community. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Luke.